starting off with something that is outside our shores, really, but, concerns us, and that is U.S.-Nigeria relations. One of the areas where people notice when, there is a softening of relationships between countries such as the United States and Nigeria, or smoothing of relationship, is with the ease that citizens of both countries, especially when it comes to bilateral relations, can access each other's countries. And it does appear that now, for those who, used to use the Dropbox service, which was a service previously available to Nigerians who apply for American visas without in-person interviews, a system that you could use if you had gone before, particularly if you had been to the U.S. before. You didn't have to go back to the embassy, to do another interview to renew your visa. It does appear that that option is now no longer on the table since the advent, or since the coming into office of President Donald Trump. I mean, quite a number of issues have come up through his declarations. It does appear that is having ripple effects across different parts of the world, Nigeria inclusive. So this morning we're here to discuss this particular issue, and I have with me Honorable Ehizo Agbonayima, who is a former member of the House of Representatives and also a former chairman, U.S.-Nigeria Parliamentary Relations. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, Ebankwek. Good morning to our viewers out there.
Yeah, so I know that a lot of Nigerians, I mean, if you ask them, they have mixed feelings. And really, someone will say, really, what's our business? But we know that when the United States coughs or sneezes, everyone catches a cold. Yeah. I mean, that has been the way of international relations. So right now, everyone has been looking, everyone watched the inauguration, listened to the inaugural speech, listened to what he had to say, was going to be, some of the, the highlights of his second coming. And I think it was a Nigerian professor, a very respected Nigerian professor, who said that was the worst inaugural speech he has heard. There are those who, that was his view. And there are those who actually think, well, when they heard the fact that, the United States now only recognizes two sexes, male and female. There were cheers for that, especially within Nigeria here, where we're still very, very conservative and traditional about, gender roles. But generally, it's been mixed. One thing I know, though, is that there is uncertainty in the air. Nobody really knows what next is coming to them. But we've seen quite a number of things. U.S. aid is now under scrutiny. It does appear that the agency is about to be scrapped, and so, for countries like us that usually get aid from U.S. aid, there are questions around there. But this one affects Nigerians, who normally want to visit the United States or have visited before. This system is no longer there for them. What are your own readings of Nigeria-U.S. relations, or what do you think it's going to be like under the administration of President Donald Trump?
Well, thank you very much, my sister Bank. I want to say this. Yes, when you have a new sheriff in town, everybody, we always want to put in place, something that they believe that can put the people first. And if you recall, Mr. President Donald Trump, throughout his campaign and his promises, he didn't make mention of, try to do all these things that people that are used to removing the issue of gender, that there's only two gender, male and female, that marriage is between a man and a woman, and talking about many other things of the executive order that he has issued. And I tell you, sincerely, some might be happy, some also, of course, are not happy. You know why. Some are not happy because this is not business as usual. If you see what has been, found with the support and the help of Elon Musk, it's mind-boggling. To me, the American taxpayers are very concerned, and that they never thought that, USAID involved in in-depth corruption. There's corruption all over the world, like I've often said. That yes, they've done well in some part in the area of HIV, medical supply, that they've tried to help other countries, even in Nigeria here. They've done some good, but majority, when you hear the kind of figures being called, that Elon Musk said that, look, this is out of the world. It's unacceptable. That where USAID are paying, people, different organizations, even terrorist group, paying people, pay LGBT, to promote LGBT, pay them millions and millions of dollars. And Americans are not, they are not aware about all this. That is surprising for them now to say, what? It means USAID have been doing this to the detriment to Americans. You go to America today, you see homeless across the United States of America. He said he was going to put the people first, America first. So I understand that, yes, the issue of the drop balls out of the visa, issuance, I just think that everybody have their own ways and means of governance. So if that is what he wants to do to streamline, that does not stop giving visa to Nigerians. You still have opportunity to go and apply. And there's a new order now in a process that the U.S. Embassy have already put in place, which is, if you Google and then go online, you see what they're talking about. If you have the genuine document, you are applying, and if you are going there for visit, yes, you have the right to visit. But just because they are stopping the drop balls, that have not changed anything. But all I'm saying is that he wants to put America first, and so at the end of the day, you begin to wonder that billions, if you're saying that over $40 billion being expended by USAID, and majority of this money we're giving to those that doesn't need it. And this is disheartening. This is corruption in the highest order.
There are two different things, this issue of USAID and, Dropbox, visa Dropbox. For you, what does this signal in terms of U.S.-Nigeria relations? Do you think that this will, because what normally this is supposed to do is facilitate movement, between two countries, especially for Nigerians who, before now, some of them have been to the United States, they've visited, some of them even have things that they're doing. Some of them are students, people are going abroad maybe for medical reasons, maybe they have family members there, and we have quite a significant Nigerian community. I mean, that's the only reason why someone like you in the first place will be, we're heading the U.S.-Nigeria parliamentary relations. I mean, it's because there is a significant number of Nigerians in the U.S. who are doing amazingly well. So do you think that this eases the relations that we have with the United States?
I think that I'm praying that the relationship between Nigeria and America, at least, is brought to bear, and where, things of the old, that what we used to see, good things, better things, greater things are coming to Nigeria, and good things are also going back to America. All I'm saying is that, first of all, we Nigerians, we must take care of our home. I remember many years ago when I went to, the first time going to America, I know how much I went with, less than 7,000 naira. When I went to change it at the downtown then, I was giving almost $15,000, talking about in the 80s. So what has gone wrong that Nigeria's money is not even accepted in Ghana? So I think there are things we need to put in place in our dear nation, because I love this country, Nigeria, but we don't expect America to be the one that will help us here. Just American-Nigerian relationship should be, paramount. Because we have a lot of Nigerians, like you rightly said, they have done well, they have excelled in all ramifications, that are doing well. Even in Donald Trump's campaign, I saw a lot of Nigerians that were highly involved till tomorrow, who are very close to him. So I'll be talking to some just came and left. We've had so many discussions that I'm saying, but with the good thing that I would say that Mr. President Donald Trump have laid on the table, I think Nigeria should be able to tap from the positive area. There are some positive things that he have laid on the table, even though everybody don't like what he's doing. But for me, I think... What
don't they like? Can you highlight what they don't like?
Oh, they said, they have said so many things, negative things about him. Oh, he's a racist, he's this, he's that. But some of us that have had the opportunity to sit down with him many years ago, he's not a racist. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. It's always bad to just paint somebody, give somebody a bad name. Donald Trump is not a racist. And by the way, in Nigeria, is married to one of the daughters. Yes. In Nigeria, married to one of the daughters. So, why are we so, quick in giving people, petty people bad?
You're about to highlight...
Donald Trump is better than most former presidents that have governed America. Yes. Yes, I'm saying this. So, let me say this. The reason why I'm saying this is that when I was in the House as chairman of the U.S. Parliamentary Relations, Donald Trump was president then. He was the only one who could help Nigeria to support in fighting the menace of Boko Haram, the terrorists that have been tormenting Nigeria. No, not even Obama or Biden could approve for Nigeria to be able to acquire arms. In the history, no one. Obama, even as many African Nigerians that supported him, he never cared for Nigeria. Only Donald Trump. He received the former President Buhari in the White House. I was on this channel when you interviewed me when Buhari was in the White House. I tell you, it was Donald Trump. The Leahy Law at the Congress, it was Donald Trump that turned it and approved Nigeria to be able to purchase arms. It started from the 12 Tucanos that was purchased by Nigeria. So if we are saying that having good relationship, I believe that he loved Nigeria. He loved Nigeria. No, he just want Nigeria. He want us to do the right things to fight corruption, because corruption is our major problem.
Mr. Gwanayima, I don't think that love is the thrust of the conversation this morning, because really, nations...
It starts from love. You have to have an interest.
Have interest. Exactly, now we're talking.
It does have interest.
That's the language of international relations. I don't think it's love. It's usually interest, Listen, how does it serve?
You love Nigeria. When I mean love Nigeria, this is a man who loves God. Who loves God. If you love God, that means you must love those people here on earth.
Okay, well,
people that represent God here on earth. So what I'm saying, he loved Nigeria. So in that context, I'm saying he have so much interest about making sure that Nigeria is among the best country in the world.
Let me just quickly wrap this up. I mean, for someone like you who is also, about parliamentary relationships and how, this is about democracy. Part of the reason why the United States got very popular and very influential was that they had the marketing of democracy across the world. I mean, Nigeria copies its own democratic systems from the United States, where it wants the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary to have equal powers, and also to be able to check one another. For those, in watching across the world and looking at what is happening in the United States, they are concerned about democracy and what it's going to look like. For the Democrats who are currently in opposition, they are already beginning to say that what they're beginning to see, especially with what he's tried to do with the, the declarations that he's made, the executive orders as he's made, is try to erode some of their own powers. And they are saying that this is the beginning of a dictatorship. Do you think that, across the world, for those who are looking, especially at the big brotherly role that the United States has played in world affairs and how it has also upheld itself as an example of how democracy should work, are you concerned as a former parliamentarian that democracy could be at stake?
I think democracy is for the people, by the people, and for the people. Democracy, to me, is doing the right thing, putting the people first, helping the downtrodden, doing those things that will impact the ordinary people, like in Nigeria or in America. So democracy, for me, is making sure that there is light, water, good healthcare system, good educational system, good roads. That is democracy. It's about doing things that will impact whomever you are serving. You are talking about
in other words, China has a democracy then?
They are helping their people. They are helping their people. America is helping his own people. So if America decides to help, have an hand of fellowship, helping Nigeria like the USAID, what they have done. But go back and look at what Elon Musk had found in talking about in-depth corruption. We had giving millions of dollars promoting LGBT, giving billions of naira, millions, giving to terrorist group. Nobody's talking about that. We should appreciate. And this is just the beginning. Less than a month.
So you will
be able
support.
To unveil,
let me just
criminality.
Get this. Let me get this.
Money. They are homeless all over.
Let me get this
money
straight.
Money that's supposed to be used.
Let me get this straight.
Tax money to be used.
Let me get this straight.
And you are not appreciating that.
Let me ask you. Will you say then that, because you said corruption is everywhere, would you say then that it's okay to throw away the baby with the bathwater, or do you think that the USAID should be reformed, considering the good it has also done across the world?
They are not throwing the baby and the away at this time. What has just happened is that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, have taken the bull by the horn and saying, well, what we're going to do, let's move it to, State Department, which they have done. Let them do their job, allow them to do their job, let them do their investigation and see, not just only USAID. He has been given, Elon Musk was hired by Donald Trump. That's why, today is one of the top, got the top secret clearance, by United States government. So Elon Musk is now to go ahead to track other agencies, how money was expended. Don't forget that during Donald Trump campaign, he said that he was going to review budget spending line by line. And that is what he's doing, making sure that every penny, every dollar that is expended, at least must be used for the purpose, of course, it is meant for. Today, how can you give over $40 billion just like that, and for no reason, and nobody is speaking, and nobody's even saying, oh, thank you, Mr. Elon Musk, by using AI, intelligence, artificial intelligence, to be able to unearth things that could not be done. So you are clapping for corruption? Come on. So
Honorable, I can say that we will certainly, President Donald Trump has 4 years, and I think that the Americans are the ones that will eventually decide, how it is that he's fed. After all, it was the majority of people who, brought him into office.
What made you think that the majority of people voted for him? Have you thought about that?
Isn't that what the polls say?
It's not what the poll says. I said the majority of Americans, not only the popular vote, the electoral college vote, all of the above, all in his favor.
That's what I'm saying. They are the ones, whoever it is that...
But not only him, even you are speaking, Nigerians are speaking, people all over the world are speaking. You just said, when America cough, the whole world sneeze.
But, the biggest effect will be felt in the United States first.
That's very correct.
So we'll wait and see, 4 years to deliver his promises to the American people who voted him into office.
But
we have to...
Do you believe...
Mr. Gwanayima, I'm afraid we're out of time. We cannot discuss this any further. Thank you so much. I was just trying to say that we have another 4 years, and I'm sure that there will be times within that 4 years that we certainly will catch catch up with you on happenings within the United States. We have to thank you so much for coming on the program this morning. Honorable Ehizoa Agbonayima is a former member of the House of Representatives and also heads the U.S.-Nigeria parliamentary system. He used to head that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and God bless you.
Well, we'll take a break at this point, and we'll be back shortly to look at another matter. But this time around is going to be in Nigeria, as affects us and the educational system. Please stay with us.